Australia's best small car just got better. Get a free upgrade to the Getz 5-door manual plus $500 fuel at no extra cost. With more space and more value, Hyundai Getz. It runs rings around the competition.
Welcome to Germany! Welcome to Germany! Dribble 2006 World Cup, and I'm telling you for a fact, the dream is still alive! Roy, give us a tone, bro!
Oh, yes, it is still alive. It is fantastic.
Australia arrived on the world stage a few hours ago, just a few hours ago, and Germany still haven't gotten over it, have they, Roy?
No, it's marvellous, actually. Look, honestly, wherever you go, the first thing you're asked is, are you Australian? If the answer's yes, then a great big vat of beer comes your way. And honestly, I've never seen so many Aussies drinking so much beer in a long, long time. Not since the end of the war.
Now, just before we get to the war, Roy.
The war.
Can I just say what disappointed me last week, that in O-Ringen, where the Australians are camped, bivouacking, billeted, it was wine week. Mm-hmm. How did you feel about that?
Well, the timing was just stupid.
It was completely stupid.
Look, I love that Liebfrau Milch. Everybody does.
And that blue nun gear.
The blue nun gear, I mean, it is the definitive Liebfrau Milch.
Yes.
But it's a beer country.
Yes.
O-Ringen is now beer town.
Central.
Yeah.
Now, Roy, the other thing is, of course, you had family over here, 3945.
I did.
Have you managed to link up with anybody who was associated with your family when they were over here, well, I was going to say for the last big show? Have you found anybody, you know, obviously your relatives sent back dispatches, you became very familiar after the war. Have you been able to hook up with anybody and just let them know you're in town? And
I did, HG. I bumped into, well, actually I went and visited Gunter Meissner, who my dad met back in, must have been 43. He put one in his back door, and I went and saw Gunter to see how he was, and the scar's still there.
Yeah.
He wears it very, very proudly, and it's amazing how close Gunter and Dad have become over the years, just tic-tacking, as they do, via mail,
Text
mainly.
messaging now.
Text messaging now, yeah. They're very close, and honestly, actually, it's a funny thing to say, but war brings people together so closely. And to think, you know, one generation down, the memories are still there, and I feel Gunter is part of the family. You know, that one that we, you know, taking it up the date, so to speak, as he did, has brought our families incredibly together. The Slavens and the Meissners are now very, very close.
Right. And I'd love to think, I mean, it's a dream that I've got, is that Germany play Australia on that one day in July.
That'd be fantastic.
It would be fantastic.
And we get Dad and Gunter to sit together.
I know, on the couch on the sideline. Wouldn't that be great? I know John O'Neill, the boss of football in Australia, has got that uppermost on his agenda.
He does. God, he's a dull bloke, isn't he? He's so dull. But apart from that, he's a terrific bloke, and he's Australian. He likes a beer.
He's Australian. He turned the wick down on Party Central, which is O-Ringen, during the week. And Roy, it is amazing, the reception of Australians here. It has just been first class. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter, as you point out, where you go, what you want to do, you're more than welcome to do it at anybody's place.
Yeah, well, you're given the keys to the city. You can go into any place, any town, go into, knock on any door, just say you're Australian, in you go, beer flows.
Now we should come to the biggest event in world football for 50 years. I'm talking about Brazil v Australia. Before we go to the highlights, Roy, your thoughts now that you've had a chance to put this match into some sort of perspective, mentally speaking and emotionally, because it was a ball terror emotionally.
I think it's the best match we've seen so far, and I think the world stood up and applauded the Australian shape. And we maintained our shape for the best part of an hour, a bit over an hour. And I thought it was remarkable. I thought the blokes played like Aussies. They played in the Aussie style. They didn't compromise. They weren't too hiddink, if you know what I mean.
I know where you're coming from
They maintained their composure. The only thing they didn't have is composure in goal.
No.
And were disappointed by Harry and Big Dukes,
yes,
who again failed to find the net. And I think what we've got to do over the next couple of days, and we'll get to this later obviously, is spend a little bit of time just getting the feel of the ball in the net. Once you've got the feel of the ball in the net, then I think that's the last piece of the puzzle. I think Hus has got them doing everything right except putting the ball in the net. They've lost that feel. And once you lose that feel, actually, it's very hard to get it back.
Yes. But, on the other hand, Brazil now pose no threat should we meet them further down the track, do they?
No. We've got their measure.
Let's have a look at the highlights now. Australia v Brazil. Yes, the team's coming out for this most important match, probably the most important match in football history. Ronaldo with the ball, having a shot there early on, Roy, and...
he looks unfit, doesn't he?
And look at that tackle from Grella there. Beautiful, dynamic studs-up challenge. And the referee shoos the Australians away as we come back and have a look. He's banging it on here. There it is. Perfect, Grella. See the foot come up just at the angle of collision with Ronaldo's
Beautiful
shin.
work, Grella. Look at that. He'll remember Australia for months.
And Brazil with the ball now. Oh, this dangerous here.
Danger.
It's Ronaldo again. Tummy guts Ronaldo. Gets the ball away to, I think this is Adriano into the net. Oh, 1-0, Roy.
No. Schwarzer caught asleep. Was Schwarzer asleep? I think he was.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
And now the Australians with the ball. They go forward here. It's Harry. Harry is a chance here as the ball is in the box. Now Harry bounces on it. Oh, it fell to Harry's feet, and he couldn't put it into the back of the net. The only thing Hitting forgot to tell the boys is how to find the back of the net. Once again, threatening here, the Australian Bresciano with a shot, defused by the Brazilian keeper, and neatly tucked up. Bresciano, a heartbroken man.
It's a beautiful shot from Bresciano. Look at that.
Once again,
Boot class.
Boot fails to connect with ball in the appropriate manner. 85 minutes gone now. We go forward again. This might be the only chance.
Big Dukes closed. Oh, no!
To the top of the
Just
net.
a bee's dick in it.
And as we come now to the closing minutes, 88 minutes gone. Now it goes out wide. Oh, Brazilian wide here. They've got plenty of room here. Bounces off the furniture into the goal there. 2-0. 2-0, the greatest tragedy in Australian sport. Oh, favourites beaten here, Roy.
I'm disappointed. I'm gutted. Gutted, totally.
Australia did enough. Hitting did enough. Yes, well, Roy, the scoreline there, 2-0, but now...
It doesn't tell the story.
It doesn't tell the story, and, of course, we look forward to Stuttgart now. Stuttgart.
With confidence,
With confidence, Australia v Croatia. A draw, or obviously a win, will see us through to the round of 16, which is tremendous news.
I hope we don't go for the draw. No. I'd like to really put the sword to Croatia. You know, there's been a lot of trash talk coming from... You know, Australians very close to the Croatian camp, a little bit uncomfortably close for mine.
Yes.
So I think we've got to really, you know, go out and just put them in the frame of mind where they don't want to play football anymore.
You know, I was a bit down in the dumps.
I know you were.
Say, after
I was
the
upset
loss.
too. Yeah, black armband.
Black armband. But I went out and had a good meal of ham hocks, a favourite in the Stuttgart area. They're magnificent eating, and look at them, beautifully roasted there. I could just sink the teeth into them again, because I find a really big plate of ham hocks can alter the mood wonderfully. You know, obviously we had to call
with beer, actually, with beer.
Oh well. Right. I mean, what do you think? I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm from somewhere out in the Pacific? Something like that? I'm an Australian. Of course I was with beer. But the mood picked up pretty quickly after a good plate of ham hocks, which does wonders with a few beers for the emotional mood vis-a-vis Australia v Croatia. Now, you were lucky enough after the match to spend some time with Hoos. He was a bit dumpy, wasn't he, for a while, down in the dumps. But he sparked up a little bit after a while, didn't he? And he feels as though there's a few wins left. There's a lot of goals left in Mark, obviously, because he hadn't kicked...
Well, he hasn't troubled the goal, the scorer yet.
No, and he feels as though Bresciano and Harry are just itching to get on the board as well.
They are, but I would counsel here, actually, that Harry's not going to get a better chance than he had earlier today.
No, obviously. You know? I mean, that was
an open goal. I mean, all he had to do was tool it over. I mean, it was so easy.
It was a vacant space. Any kid in Balmain under 8s would have got that one. That's my disappointment about that bit from Harry. I mean, he made us look ordinary out there.
Did.
Do you know what I mean?
He did.
Really ordinary. And it's not right that Australians are made to look really ordinary here in Germany. We're holding our end up in the party stakes. The festival of football is Australian.
Yes.
Well, if we can't score, we might as well go home.
I just worry that Harry probably isn't drinking enough beer.
Now,
that was the impression I got.
When you spoke to Hughes, though, he pulled out a terrific quote about how we see the view forward here. And here's his comments now, leading up to the big one against Croatia.